We just saw how we can create a WordPress site using a Docker Compose YAML file. It has 2 services in it. Let's take a look at those. We have a container running for the database called DB, and we have a container called WordPress. We can add more services to it. It makes it very easy. We don't have to configure them on the host server. We can use microservices for each project. So we want to add a caching service called Redis. So we will create a new service right here, 2, 3, I think, Redis. So we'll call it. And we want to use the official Redis image. And we want it to restart always. If we reboot the VPS, restart the project, it crashes. It should always restart. The only other thing we need to do is come up here and tell WordPress that we need to link these two. So WordPress wants a database and it wants Redis. We don't have to do any more configuring in Docker itself. Now we have to configure WordPress to use this. So let's save and exit. Docker Compose config to verify that we don't have any mistakes, which we do. I could not find the expected colon. So line 32, column 4. It is expecting a colon right there, which I forgot to put in. Now we can go ahead and stop and restart our service. I've created a shortcut for this on my other boxes because I do it often, but we can do it the same line here. So if we go Docker Compose down and this will run the 2 commands one after another on the same line. Docker Compose up.d. So it's going to stop it first of all. When this command is done, it will then execute that one. So it had to pull in the latest file and started it right there. We have the WordPress project has 3 containers or 3 different servers running. The HTML, HTTP, the database, and then the caching service. I will create another video later on that tells how to test this if there is a problem. How do we access it? We know we can access the HTTP service because we created an external port for it on our VPS. But we don't have any ports for the Redis and database. Therefore, we cannot access them directly using the port. But for now, we need to connect our WordPress site to our Redis service. So let's go ahead and install a new plugin that will use Redis. Let's go to the plugins, add new plugin. And we want the Redis object cache. And there it is. So we will install this. And then we will activate it. So go into Settings, Redis. So let's connect to it. By default, it's not going to work. It's going to say connection refused. It's trying to find it on localhost. It doesn't exist on localhost. It exists inside of our Docker Compose WordPress stack. We can get to it by using this name here. So we have to tell the plugin how to find it. I've already created the code that we need to go in the WordPress config file. So let's go to a WordPress directory and WordPress config.php, and we will tell the plugin how to access it. So the host is Redis, which we defined within the YAML file itself. And then the WordPress cache. This should be unique, so we can just put some random things. So let's go ahead and save this and exit. Now when we reconnect to it again, it will say connected this time. So if we look at the information, it should tell us the WordPress host, which again, it is this name here. So we don't have to use the IP address. We don't have to use any ports. We just have to know the name in the Docker Compose stack.